Hey everybody, I'm Raph. Y'all might know me as a commentator for Arc System fighting games, various other fighting games, and just a general guy that streams every now and again and does whatnot. But, I am here to talk a little bit about the Guilty Gear Strive beta that happened over the weekend. It was a 3-day event with various times there where we were able to play against the CPU and play against each other online. I have a little over 10 years of Guilty Gear experience, having started with Guilty Gear Accent Core. So I've seen a lot of the different variations of the game and how it's changed from, you know, a really heavy metal, unique fighting game and still kind of carry that along. But, as the company that made the game got bigger, ArcSystemWorks, things change because, a lot more is expected from them and the way they have their hands in so many franchises now and how so many games that we're playing as we speak have been developed by them. They definitely have reached an echelon of fighting game companies where so much more is expected from them and they're going to take bigger chances to reach a wider base because their name is out there now. So it's interesting to see what's come from that, with the people they bring in and the gameplay and design elements that have come along so far in Strive, which, is a departure from their last outing, which is Guilty Gear Xrd. So, I'm going to go over a little bit, just some key points. I'm not going to gloss over the lobby too much. That's kind of been like beaten a bit because, you know, plain and simple, the lobby that they presented to us, the players, over the weekend is not good. It's basically like one of the worst online lobby systems that I've seen for a modern fighting game. Dragon Ball Fighter Z is really bad, but this is like you put out something like Grand Blue Fantasy Versus that gives you a main player lobby where you sit at cabinets and challenge the person you want to play. There's some faults to that, right? Guilty Gear had like a main lobby too, but Xrd had a main lobby. But no one really used that. They just used the private player rooms or public player rooms, what have you. Strive having this kind of obtuse game inside the game where like if you presented it as a standalone product and said, this is Guilty Gear Strive, people would think of it as an April Fool's joke, and it was an April Fool's joke. They presented it during that day as like, hey, check this out, customizability, lobby avatars, all this stuff, and everyone's like, ha ha ha, ha ha, funny Arxis, you're so cute. No one would ever do that. That's so fun. That's so weird, but you got us, haha. And then, out comes the beta, and we realize, oh no. And it wouldn't have been so bad, but like my main issues with it, just to make it real quick. Um, it's a mess when like 25 people are in a room and connecting to anybody. Like I know it's online beta, so it's into beta, right? Beta. It's not gonna work really great out the box with all these people trying to get on and play each other. But like, there's no way of telling who you're going to play against or match up to outside of like you have little 2D avatars. They have to like touch each other to initiate matchmaking, and that doesn't no good. That does not do. No, Arxis, please, just that's an experiment and one that did not yield really any positive results. So I honestly just say scrap it. I hope they can go back at this point. I know it's a lot of work, but or at least really heavily revise it. If you're gonna use that kind of system, make it at least intuitive in any way. It's just very non-intuitive. Okay, so that's that aside, right? That's the end of the lobby. I'm not gonna go over that. I want to make this video less than 10 minutes, so we're just gonna go into each little topic, do like a little blurb about it. Number one thing I have a problem with: the damage. Outright, the damage. It's Guilty Gear is a high damage game. Guilty Gear rewards you for big combos with usually either a hard knockdown into a setup or big daddy damage in the corner off certain starters. In this game, pretty much any starter off like lights near the corner or like a three-piece combo would do minimum like maybe 40%, and that's just crazy. I'm seeing characters get hit once for half their life. They get hit once. They get anti-aired once. They get, command grabbed once, and suddenly they're at such a huge deficit because now, they don't. I mean, they don't have the life lead, of course, and the other person's offense is still going on. A sole bad guy player going for 3 command grabs and winning off of that. That doesn't feel good to play against. That's like the number one thing. I mean, it might feel funny to do, but it's gonna get old fast because like it skews risk reward heavily, and it really makes the offense really favored. When you think about it, when a game that like only a few characters might have a valid reversal without meter. So, and even if you do something reversal wise, your counter hit state, and then you just get erased. So I honestly think the damage is just absurd. They need to just tone it down a little bit. Lights shouldn't be giving you that much. No, I played Axel mostly. I shouldn't be able to get a stand punch, on a jumping opponent and take off over 30%. I just no, I get a knockdown, sure, but I shouldn't be dealing that much damage. That's kind of crazy, right? So it's little things like that. Um, it's just it's insane, especially in the wall. But we'll gloss on the wall in a moment. Um, Characters, I like what they're doing with the direction of the characters because they kind of fit the character to their game plan better. The character might have a lot of different tools at their disposal, be it if they have a reversal, might have a command grab. They'll have a move that goes over lows, or that's really good for frame traps. And they really build upon it to make a character like this is what role they fill. So like Potemkin as the grappler has armor moving forward as he always had. He has, the most amount of life, and he has a really hard hitting command grab that kind of kills one character in 2 grabs. A little zany, I suppose, but that's what his niche fills. He's a tank. He's a walking tank. The character I play, Axel, he's a zoner, pure zoner. His tools up close are very weak. His offensive pressure, at this 0.0 range, quick and fast. You press 2 things. There's no real mix-up involved, but then you create that space, and now the opponent's trying to figure out how to approach, and you're covering this. I would say like a 3 to 3+ range with a lot of good tools, and it feels good because the damage is so high, but then it's like the opponent is like punished for jumping at a full screen for that much damage. I mean, it's just like you shouldn't get both. You shouldn't get a knockdown and the high damage at like ranges like that, especially in a game like Guilty Gear where normal hits can lead to that much. I'm not talking about counter hits. I'm talking about just regular. I hit a normal. Let's go crazy, right? This video is not going under 10 minutes, by the way. So like that's what makes everyone's game plan feels good is that damage is so high. So it's very easy to get misconstrued of what's effective, but that's why it feels effective because like it goes hand to hand with that, with the damage of the game being as absurd as it is, right? But they also feel more limited because of the way the Gatlings are, and that's just going from one normal to the other. Typically, Guilty Gear is always a game where you go punch, kick, slash, heavy slash. That was your typical string if you kept it, bare bones. 1, 2, 3, 4. In this game, the 2, 1, 2, punch, kick, they only go into each other, if not at all. Or into the sweep button, which is one of the universal lows if you do a crouch and sweep, or dust is what it's called dust. Or 5 dust, which is, neutral dust, launches, overhead attack, right? So, pressures with lights just doesn't feel good because they don't lead to really any, block string very much, You can cancel them into some command normals, but then that's really it. It's just like 1, 2, 1, command normal, special move, neutrals reset. So, and it feels like it takes away from being able to do like kick slash into a punch or something like that, where it's called reverse beat. You're going backwards to a lighter button to cancel out the heavier button, and then have that like kind of staggered pressure you get from it. I want to see the Gatlings tuned back to being a little bit more like traditional Guilty Gear in that sense. I've got a little bit of things to go through. So that's my issue on the Gatlings. I think a lot of people voice that concern. You know, if they're gonna keep it like it is, at least make the lights have a little more impact, or make canceling into the command normals, maybe change the properties of the command normals, so either the frame data maybe changes when you cancel out of it, or it might be able to cancel into something else outside of a special move, because then you can't have to be like a certain range to hit like a light normal into the command normal or what have you. It's hard. I really just think traditional Guilty Gear Gatlings would feel better, but with the damage as high as it is, that probably the damage would have to go down if they make that change. And a lot of the things I would want to see hedge on the damage being adjusted. Okay, this leads me to the next thing, talking about a bunch of normals. Pushback in this game is absurd, I think, on when you block special moves. Characters like Potemkin, that one of his main special moves called Hammerfall. He dashes forward, is armored. If you press into it, you have to like hit buttons, if you're doing a string as fast as possible to break him out of it. It has 1 hit of armor. You're trying to avoid that scenario. But he can crush you and then get like a knockdown or counter hits worse. He'll get like a little combo off of it. But the traditional, block on Hammerfall was that Potemkin was punishable. He was close enough to get usually a full combo punished into a knockdown, and you start your pressure, because the approaching armor move was just, it was a gambit. You'd let it rock all the way if you were going to call them out. In this game, you block it, and most buttons that will reach Potemkin are too slow to punish it. So even though he's negative, you won't hit him. You'll get your turn, but because it's a far-ranging normal, your turn ends off of like far-ranging button into special move, if even that. So it just feels kind of counterintuitive, because a lot of times Potemkin may be able to recover from his Hammerfall, do it again. Another thing is Kai. Kai has his stun dipper. It's advancing low, hits low the first hit, hits mid the second. So you just gotta block low the first time, then you're fine. But this move also has really good pushback, even at like ranges that normally you'd be guaranteed like a sweep or at least like a little bit more substantial punish, and it feels a lot harder to do because the pushback is so high. And that's just, it's a lot of moves of the characters are like that. You're not rewarded for blocking these riskier moves as much as you used to be, and that doesn't feel good. But it's a different game, and that might be the intention of it, because then it's your turn, and then you kind of do the same thing, and you're kind of going like this little back and forth that's created by frame data, like akin to maybe like Street Fighter V. I mean, people are saying Street Fighter, Guilty Gear Strive. They say that SF5 is in the title. I don't know. I'm not a gameplay, game design head. I'm not gonna go too deep in that kind of stuff, but I get it, right? So that's I want to see that kind of retooled. Maybe like the pushback it's not as strong, and it make it at least feel a little bit better. But that's something that could be worked around with training mode and discovering like what all will punish at certain ranges, playing like that. So, that's not like as high priority to me, but it just felt really off. But something I could get used to down the line if it's kept that way. Another mechanic to go into is the wall mechanic. So I touched on this earlier. The wall mechanic is you hit an opponent with certain special moves against the wall. They get wall stuck or they bounce off the wall, and then they're in a combo state at that point. So certain characters are really good at doing that. That's going to be Mei with her dolphins, Soul with Bandit Revolver, and then other characters might take like a specific special move on hit or certain counter hits to get that state going, where you're getting a guaranteed combo. They're on the wall, and then the wall breaks after a certain amount of time, and hits of them against the wall, it shatters, they fly off the screen. Really cool transition. I love it. They're flinging, they're like, whoa! They land, they fall on the ground, neutrals reset. Okay, cool. I get it. It's like Pokken Tournament. poking, whatever. I don't know, whatever. Don't flame me. I'm sorry. So that game is like same way. You get someone in the corner, their wall spot, you get a wall combo, they bounce off, they fly in neutral, party starts again. The thing with Guilty Gear Strive is that it feels like it's so strong, these wall combos, and they're so unintuitive because once you've initiated this wall mechanic, you essentially just loop special moves. It's just do special move again, it breaks, you're done, they took 50% damage, you have a meter bonus you're getting because you're getting more meter faster. And it's just like, it doesn't feel good because what happens is now the opponent, the person who has the other person pinned against the wall, just fish for the wall moves. I'm going to either go for a string into this move or throw it outright because 9 times out of 10 these moves are not punishable on block. You have to, if you're the defender, you're blocking, you might do a defensive Roman cancel to get out of it, but you're hesitant to try to jump out because you get clipped. You're stuck on that wall. You might not have a burst, and now you gotta take all this damage, and it's just, I think the combos are a little too long for what they are too, because it kind of goes hand in hand with the damage. It's just, it leads to a lot, and it takes a bit of time, and then it's just, okay, we're reset, and going back to neutral, I think that's the thing about it I don't mind the most. I kind of like that personally, but it also goes against any 2D fighter realistically, so I can see why there's pushback against that. But I just think it's just, when you get to the corner, yes, it's supposed to be in the offensive character's advantage, but now it just feels like it's very dumbed down because the defender really doesn't have they have less options. It feels like they have less options when their back is against the wall, and that's just no bueno. In a game like this, where one false move in that corner and say goodnight. There's a clip out there of May hitting Chip with Raw Dolphin, looping into 5 other Dolphins, and then there's that final wall stick where you get one more hit. The May takes out like over 90% of the Chip's life, and it's like that. No, please, no. All right. Last actual game mechanic to just go over is the roaming cancel system. This is the part I like the most. So Exerd had the YRC system. It was, if you used roaming cancel hitting 3 buttons when you have at least 25% meter, you could cancel out of any move or special move before a certain amount of frames has been exhausted of the move, and you reset into neutral. So you can throw a fireball YRC and then follow it up. As long as your opponent wasn't blocking, you will not spend more than 25% bar. 50% bar was the standard of getting a hit and then canceling it to extend a combo. In Strive, it's more so, I can RC a move when I throw it out, but it costs 50 meter. But at least I'm recovered and I'm safe. It makes the opponent slow down a little bit, but you're not dying. It's no 25% bar. That's great. That's good. On offense, when you do roaming cancel, it does like a bubble that launches them, so you have a better opportunity to get a combo. I like that because it's kind of a universal, hey, I got this clean hit, I'm using meter to cash out, and I'm able to do my best combo off of this consistently. I like that because it also rewards errant hits more when you get it. Like if I'm playing Axel and I hit my overhead, I hit RC, it pops them up in the air, and I have more from that. Like typically you do the same thing with RC and you get like a basic combo from it, but now there's more potential to that. And the little explosion does scale. There is also called Rapid RC, which if you do a roaming cancel and a special move immediately, the bubble won't burst. You'll get your special move like that. And if it's, certain special moves will allow you to get a combo extension. So that's like the game plan with that. If you want to get the maximum damage, you don't get the pop-up, but you go into a special move that enables a further combo. I think that's really fun. I like that. I like that idea behind it. Defensive roaming cancel replaces what's called dead angle. Dead angle was a guard cancel where you block something, you press 2 buttons and forward, and then they use 50% meter to attack out, and it was blockable. In this game, if you hit 3 buttons and forward while blocking, you do a defensive roaming cancel. It's a yellow bubble. It explodes. the opponent gets blown back, and then the defender is at a slight advantage afterwards, and they have breathing room. So this works against grounded attacks, this works against jump-ins. It's a pretty universal tool to get your opponent off you and give you a little bit of breathing room. So I think that's a fine way of going about it, because it's a universal. It's a universal change, as opposed to every character having a different move for their dead angle. And they're having them strengths on that, where everyone's kind of the same in that boat. And I think that's fine. I think that's fine. So like the Roman cancel system, I think, is the best tuned system they have in the game so far. Overall, the game, I mean, the speed feels okay for what it is with the damage that it is. Air dashing, that's like the final topic for gameplay. The air is a little too good, because you have more options airborne than you do on the ground. Like, it's just what it feels like. And I've seen that kind of opinion everywhere, is if you are in the air, you know, you're moving around with it may not be as good. Like, you still have air dash backwards, air dash forwards. It's still a little telegraphed if you do it like that, but the way it is now, when you air dash and you do a normal after it, you glide down. Instead of going straight, your character will come down with the attack button that they used. So, you know, it's a lot stronger on offense. It's much stronger on offense, because yes, there's a delay to air dashing, but then you have to, like, it's the active frames of these jump-ins are so big and stay out for so long that you have to be very preemptive with it and react faster than you normally would have to, because the anti-airs feel weaker. Every character has a 6 punch that's normally upper body invuln. Those 6 punches do not work against a lot of jump-ins. I'm playing as Axel. Kai does his jump heavy slash against me. I do 6p, I lose. And that's more often than not even a trade or a clash. I just straight up lose. And that's supposed to be your traditional anti-air, but it doesn't work as you would expect it to, so it kind of defeats the purpose of having a move like that. You know, anti-airs can lead to a lot, as even if they're weaker, the reward for an anti-air is much higher than previous Guilty Gears, because when you hit somebody out of the air, they will hit the ground. It used to be the opponent would be able to tech off most anti-airs if he didn't follow up. But now, if you knock them out of the sky, they will drop down from as high as they were and go down. And if they were high enough, or if you hit him with a certain anti-air, you can follow up off of it. Axel, if I did 2S, the slash that goes up all the way in the sky, if I hit somebody in the air, I was guaranteed 5p into a combo. So I can get a good reward out of it. So the anti-airs feel stronger in that sense. But because air dashing and jump normals are so strong, the anti-airs are, even though they have the potential, they're not as good. And I would like to see 6Ps, the universal anti-air, be better. I want to see better upper body invulnerability on it, so they're supposed to beat those jump-ins as intended. So like characters that have uppercuts like Kai and Soul, it works a little bit better for them, because like Soul's slash Volcanic Viper, his medium strength DP, exceptionally good. It has invulnerability and it goes upwards, so it's going to catch a lot of people. And if they block it, because you can block moves in the air without having to hold back in 2 buttons. If you block, they get pushed back so far that it's a-okay. They're fine. So the Soul player doesn't get punished for doing it. And I knew that in the betas at Arc Revo when we played it, and I like that to an extent. I don't mind that change, personally. I don't mind uppercuts when you block them in the air not being punishable, because you were not being punished. You're not being punished for doing what you're supposed to do. Someone jumps at you in a fighting game and you do uppercut, that's what mentally is supposed to be the design direction. Uppercuts beat jump-ins. But in a game like Guilty Gear, where if you block an uppercut and then you get punished, it's like, okay, I have to use my normals to do it, but a DP is that like universal solution. So blocking it and getting pushed back from it, I think that's okay, because it's gonna, even though you don't get a reward that they blocked it, it creates a space, you knock them back, and it's like, okay, I didn't die for doing the right thing. I like that. I like that change. Personally, I feel like that's one of those things that not a lot of people really agree with, because, oh, I blocked his uppercut, why can't I get him? Because it's always been that way. But, you're not punishing the person for doing what they're supposed to do. So I do like the changes with anti-airs. I mean, yes, they don't have to be blocked with meter. So a lot of the times you can just jump and block something, it doesn't matter, right? But in the same time, it's supposed to be, because jump ins are so strong, it kind of skews it. Because if anti-airs were stronger and if you could hit anti-airs more consistently with the reward that they have, then I can see why blocking airborne naturally is warranted. But it's not in place, and that still needs a little bit of tuning to make the anti-airs a little bit stronger. That way, that reward is readily apparent, and then you have that balance of, okay, this is why you should be able to block in the air without using bar. So we'll see. That's my take on it. That's how I feel. Okay. Last but not least, just touch on no more gameplay. I'm just looking at visuals. The game is stunning, right? Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. The models are amazing. The character designs. I love these takes on them. Everyone's kind of like, it's not as, I don't know, it's not as flamboyant as it used to be. It's a little more casual, it feels like, in terms of like the designs of the characters. But the lighting is an issue. So there's a lot of stages that the lighting affects the character models so much that they either really blend in or it's hard to tell. Because the way it looks like with the UI, the characters get really washed out because of the lighting and the shadows being a little too much light being shined on everybody and the shadows being too heavy. So like characters will blend in the background with certain outfits, and it can be hard to tell because everything blends in so much because the backgrounds and the characters are designed in the same way. But then you add in the UI. The UI is very clean. It's simple, but it's extremely clean and high definition. So once the numbers come up, which everyone's joked about it, haha, big numbers. I get it. I mean, I don't like them because they're like that. They're distracting because they're the thing you can see the best. I shouldn't be, as a player, I shouldn't be able to tell the numbers on the hit counter better than I should be able to read what my character or the other character looks like or is doing. So I think they should adjust the UI and the HUD to be a little bit, to maybe not be as sharp unless you're going to make the characters a little bit better and more discernible in the engine you have. And there's some stages that look great. And there's some that I would never want to play on because there's a snow stage and snow's coming down and I can't see anything because the snow comes in the forefront. Everything's white as snow. And it's probably the worst snow stage I've ever seen in terms of I want to play this game in a tournament and competitive because all the white gets washed out. I look at like stuff like Tron Wonderland, Bond Wonderland at Marvel's Capcom 3. That stage is gorgeous. It's a lot of fun. It's one of the best stages that game's ever put out and very popular stages to play on because it's easy to tell what's going on. Whereas this snow stage, it actually feels like I'm in a snowstorm. And that's like, okay, if I was playing like a 2D scroller, if I was playing a 2D beat 'em up, hell yeah. I'm playing a fighting game. I need to see what these characters are doing and where they're going. If I pick a character dressed in white and go into snow stage, that's over. Like, call John Carpenter because the thing's coming out of nowhere and then you're dead because you ain't gonna see nothing. Like, I really would like the lighting to be fixed. I think the UI, I think the simplicity of it is very nice. It just needs to be not as distracting. It needs to be not the thing that my eyes want to go to. Not the thing that I look at when stuff's going down immediately. Like, the characters should be first and foremost. And then the UI is just, okay, here's the data presented nicely, but it shouldn't take me away from what I'm doing unless I need to go away and check it. But I do like the direction of the UI. It just does need some work. My complaints about the screen shake and the zoom in on the counter from Arc Revo, I think it's going in the right direction. It's not as bad. The camera shifts on counter hit, I'm used to. It took a little bit, but it's a lot less drastic than it was with the original beta build at Arc Revo. So if they keep going with what they're doing, I'll be okay with it. Just, the minor changes to the UI I'd appreciate, but I like the direction. So as a whole, I had a lot of fun. I played mostly Axel. I played a lot of online. I'm going to put up matches later on from what I played online. Um, I already talked about what I liked, what I didn't like. Uh, I love Guilty Gear. I'm going to play it when it comes out. I'm happy for it having rollback netcode. And I'm really glad that ArcSys is taking a lot of feedback. There's the surveys. I implore you all to fill them out this weekend while you can. Give your honest, you know, give your honest feedback. Let them know, because there are people there who are FGC. There's people on our side there. And it's going to take the people to help and make this game feel right, because it's a balance between the players and the developers. And ArcSys, I feel like, has one of the, for a big company, can achieve that proper balance if done correctly. I don't condone people whining and getting in their way, because that doesn't get the best changes, but constructive feedback is helpful, and them being receptive to it, I appreciate it. What comes from it, we'll see. It got us rollback netcode so far. Who knows at this point? But I just implore people to be honest, but be kind. That's the end of that. I appreciate you watching. Any of your thoughts or any of your comments on it, just go ahead and comment below on the video. Subscribe if you like. I appreciate it, and I look forward to talking more video games. But I am Raph. You can follow me on Twitter at RaphTX. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Raph_TX. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and keep on rocking.